talk about a few things this past week I've seen and heard. Right, but none of it is new to me like this first thing I'll bring up. And I mentioned this in a few other videos, but I don't think I've ever said anybody's name. But I'll do it this time. Fat Mack. Mack City Limits. I'll put this video in the description box. And he said something that pretty much describes the overall atmosphere of the male gender warriors on here. And rather than, calling their group names, SYSBM, Black Manosphere, Black MGTOW, True Force Loneliness, and all the others, I just call them the strong black men from YouTube. Mack said something that pretty much defines the attitude of the strong black men from YouTube. Here.
Just want to get on here and straighten some things out. That's what we're going to do today. First thing on the plate will be someone has a bug up their ass about the fact that they see me posing with women. Oh man, Cats is irritated at the fact that I'm getting on YouTube, and I realize this is a red pill space, and I realize that a lot of y'all, got this vendetta that y'all want to get broads in a pickle, man. Y'all want to see them crash and burn, man. There's a time and a place for all of that, man. You know what I mean? For the chicks that deserve it, man. But we don't do that over here in Mack City, man. We don't make any blanket statements. We don't want to give out any sort of blanket punishments. You know what I mean? But yeah, evidently we got an individual out there that thinks that I'm flexing and flossing with raggedy dust bucket broads. Well, hey, they may be raggedy and they may be dust buckets to you, but these are my babies, man. You know what I mean? These are the females that rock with me, so I rock with them, man. And I'm just now recently getting comfortable enough, right, where
Ain't that something? Ain't that something? I've mentioned that a few times, but I don't think I've named anybody who went through that. Could somebody tell me, right? Could somebody tell me what is the world coming to when a straight man, heterosexual, got to give reasons for why he likes women? I typed that on the comment board of his video. Again, I've seen more than a few dudes have to do that. And what's going on where a man, something going on. What's going on where a man shouldn't like women? This pretty much sums up the overall atmosphere of the strong black man, where having a woman can be used against you. I've watched that happen on here for over 13 years. Then you have the other side. Well, you have a black man. You're with a black man. She went to a black man. I've seen that used against many black women on here. And could somebody tell me, what is the world coming to when it's odd for a black woman to be with a black man? I tell you what's coming to. It pretty much sums up the overall climate of the female gender warriors on here. The hostile climate against men and boys. Same thing with the men. The environment is hate towards the other, so when you're seen with one, you're attacked. Chicks on here attack black men so much that they better not get found out being with one. Your kind is a no-no to be with. Now, I watched a great bit of Lex Vortex's stream he did a few days ago. And that'll be in the description box if it's still up. Or I say if it's still up, because I know Lex to take down many of his streams, and he's even deleted channels and started new ones. But the other day he was on there pretending to seek clarity about this gender war. And he's only pretending, trust me. But someone comes on the panel, and when it was brought up how females on here are engaging in propaganda against men, he pulls the old yeah but routine. And the yeah but routine is what both sides do. The male and the female side will say, yeah, there are some bad men out there, but the women are worse. Like the dude on Lex panel, he said, yeah, there's some women on here tripping, but it don't compare to how bad these men are on here. Both sides do this. And both sides will even claim that the other side started this warfare and can prove it. It could even disprove the other side's proof with stats, data, and empirical evidence. Both sides have this. And I've watched this for over a decade. I'm telling you, both sides. Both sides will even claim that the other one's facts are based in emotion and not facts. Both sides do this. And both sides can prove with no doubt in mind that their side is the most targeted and oppressed. Both sides have the data to back that position too.
Showtime, dead time, please stand. Hi, this is Tyrone Muhammad the Mortician, and today I'm just coming to you live and direct. I'm coming here today with my buddy. This is my buddy. You remember back in the day we had that commercial where it said, my buddy and me. Well, yes, this is live and true today. This is my buddy. My buddy, wherever my buddy go, I go, and everywhere I go, my buddy goes. See, but you got to understand that me and my buddy, we have a love-hate relationship. Why you say that? He loves me, but I hate him. Why? He loves me because I give him what feeds his appetite. Listen to what I'm saying. He loves it when I give him people that's going to forever stay in here. We know that, but he likes it even better when I give him that young team. Right? He likes when I can give him that young, vibrant, energetic, that supple, that have so much potential. He loves when I'm able to lay one of them in here. He gladly delights in that. It's like a full-course meal. He's actually getting the appetizer, the main meal, and the dessert. And he loves it. And he wants you to continue doing that. So today, we had a talk last night. Because me and my buddy, understand, we talk all the time. When I got issues, I talked to my buddy. My buddy he talked to me. So last night he had a conversation with me. He told me to come tell you today. He told me to thank a few people. He said, this is what he told me. He told me to thank a few people, and he told me first he wanted to thank the parents. He wanted me to thank the parents. He wanted me to thank the fathers, the absentee fathers, that walked out on the little young man who was trying to find his way in guidance. And he needed a role model, someone he can look up to. He said, thank you. Thank you for walking out on him. Thank you for walking out on him, leaving him there with his own vices. So my buddy said, thank you on that. He's happy. He's happy when the father walks out. He's saying, thank you. See, because he said every time he said thank you and you walk out and leave and he end up here, he said, now the blood is on your hands. See, and he didn't stop at the father. He told me to thank the mother. He said, thanks, Mom. He said, thank the mothers for me, Muhammad. And I said, wow, why you want me to thank the mothers? He said, because, see, the mothers was the one back when they was out there in the street and they was fantasizing about these young brothers that's riding around these beautiful cars, these beautiful, expensive cars, dressed nice. The cars had beautiful rims on it. Some of them were spinning, some of them chrome. He said, thank them. He said, because when they got involved with the man, they got him for materialism. They didn't know that the man had no substance in him. He said, so tell them, Muhammad. He said, thank them. He said, that's why, because without them, that's why he eating good. So he wanted to thank the mothers. He said, mothers, now the blood is on your hand, mothers, for getting involved with men that had no substance, and you was just following them for material things.
Both sides are culpable. There's no such thing as one fault, or even one side being more at fault. And for a lot of reasons, neither side can be blamed entirely or even mostly. Mainly for the fact that it don't matter, because both sides feel the impact of whatever the gripes are. The societal woes, economic, or whether it be economic, education, family structures, social placement, as far as where male or female is on the totem pole, it don't matter. Right? Because both sides have been present this entire time, but still, blame is sought out to be placed on the other. In this too, listen close. Anybody who thinks that these wars are to bring some form of togetherness or resolution, you either got to be an idiot or extremely naive. These wars are to destroy, not to build. To sever, not to mend. We need to have the conversation. Men and women, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, upwards of 55 years old, on here pretending that there needs to be a conversation to understand the other side. Pretending. The conversation. Let's have the conversation. The conversation means let's have the conversation. That means let's fight. You don't let nobody tell you other than what I just said. This other thing. Right, a few days ago, I put a comment on SOULNBLACK's channel, and I'll put those in the description box because there's actually two videos. The video I commented on and the response video he did to my comment, and he was really, really angry with me. Really angry with me because I guess he was already pissed at something else. In my comment, I guess I threw some fuel on his already burning feelings. And after he read my comment, in his response, he said something, and I was like, you know what? I don't even need to respond to this. Right? Well, I'm responding now, but I mean where I respond maybe point for point. You know my usual way of how I get out on here. Right? And I didn't have to respond. I didn't have to respond because he said, yeah, they're parroting what we already said. And I was done then. Because he'd been around maybe 15 or more years as a gender warrior. So in the video I commented, he was complaining about how unproductive the current strong black men from YouTube are. And I told him that they're only doing what y'all been doing. So he does his response, but when you say that they're repeating what y'all did already, I need not respond. I need not respond. Or maybe I should have typed him a thank you on there, maybe. Right? Because you're complaining about them, but they came from your loins. Your sack and the others that was around back in the day. These strong black men from YouTube today are your children, sir. The other ones of you who've been around for a long, long time. These folks today are your children. And in my comment, I told him to stop telling lies about how productive the male gender warriors were back in the day. Stop lying. Stop lying, because they've been on here describing black women as the least of all of God's creations, and you've been doing it since day one, but on here trying to rewrite history. What people like SOULNBLACK do, he ain't the only one. It's a few old schoolers on here. What they do is it's like listening to Rush Limbaugh describe the history of America and the founding principles and fundamental values of the founding fathers, when we know that's some garbage. We know that America is one gigantic crime scene founded on rape, robbery, slavery, and murder, and the founding fathers were immoral, bloodthirsty savages.
Hello everyone, friends and subscribers, Colonel Wisdom back again, and back to my old usual routine. I think I'm gonna title this video, I Just Don't Get It, or I Just Plain Don't Get It, because this isn't going to be about one particular topic, but I want to start off addressing some of the backlash from a few YouTube users from me commenting on weight, or my opinions on how I would feel about obese people. Some of you thought, not really most of my subscribers, just like I'm talking to anybody who's anybody who's listening to this audio and whoever it applies to, but I know I've gotten some backlash about my comments about weight, so much so to the extent that I got a challenge by Mr. Madhead. Well, he didn't really challenge me, but he just said, if I really understand that everybody or every black person doesn't have to be skinny, then I'm going to, the next video I talk about weight, I'm going to talk about how to lose it. Well, I accepted his pseudo-quasi challenge of sorts, so since I am going to be talking about a certain morbidly obese person, why she doesn't know what she's talking about, I'm also going to begin on how I lost weight.
That is a woman who went by the name of Colonel of Wisdom, and that audio was from nearly 9 years ago. Me and her got into a back and forth on Queen and Fama's comment board. And, so Colonel of Wisdom, she decided to go back to her channel and speak on it. But you heard her there talking about the heat that she gets because of the things that she says about black women. Black women are too fat, welfare queens, responsible for the demise of black boys, etc., etc. But that's what she was. I ain't seen her a long time, though. Long time. She's been away for about 10 years. And I bring her up in regards to SOULNBLACK and others like him who tries to rewrite history and pretend that they don't know where the people today came from or why they propagate so strongly against the other gender. Colonel of Wisdom of yesterday would be your Kendra D of today. And Kendra D is someone who takes the men's side of the gender war. You know, the black women are the problem. No more hair weaves or bastard children. Black women are the enemies of black men and black boys, etc., etc. Carnal Wisdom would be her birth mother. Just like the dudes today. Their fathers would be the Soul and Blacks and Sergeant Willie Peets and the Thugticians and the Painless Risens and the Avenue Rats. And on the other side, you have their OGs. You had the Deborah Coopers. You had the You Heard Me First Times and many other gender war mothers. The people you see today are the fruit that didn't fall far from the tree. The bad fruit that the old schoolers want to pretend grew from a good tree. That's a lie. Now, a few days ago, I was on the comment board of a lady named Penny Proud. Before a while, she renamed herself Miss Elite. I still call her Penny. But she did a video expressing her distaste for a display posted by a dude named Water Sniper. And he made his name by posting videos of tragedies that happens to people who date interracially, mainly when they're murdered. And Penny said that she had an issue with that. And we exchanged some words. I wouldn't say the words were hostile, but she finally understood where I was coming from. In my first comment, I said, but to celebrate the tragedy of the opposing side is standard protocol of the ones who love the relationship wars. Both sides use horror as examples to support their position. So I don't understand what the Water Sniper did wrong when it comes to how people typically do things. Okay? Now, when I said I don't see nothing wrong, I meant according to the atmosphere, what is permissible in gender warring, what's expected and normal of gender warriors, where low blows are technically not even really low. Because why? Because it's what's generally done. It's not even really no low blow. Right? This is what they do. The other day I heard a dude give a giggle at a black woman being beat to death with a sledgehammer by her white mate. I hear women celebrating black men's deaths all the time. Like the interracial dude a couple of years back. I forget the dude's name. The interracial dude who got stabbed to death in a bar, outside of a bar or something. I think it was in Greece or some other place in Europe. The chicks were saying that's what he gets for dating outside his race. And Penny said that she didn't like the joy expressed over the death of the black lady. And I told her, that's what it do, though. That's what's up. And both sides do this. But Penny asked me a question after we exchanged a few comments, and I didn't answer it. I didn't even answer it. I just left. And not because I couldn't answer it, but when she asked me that, it reminded me of that rant I saw a few years ago from this dude and other people like him. He's a funeral home dude, a mortician. He sells caskets and other burial services. But he was ranting, urging people to stop the gang violence. And Penny asked me, after I told her it's normal what Water Sniper did, she asked me, but how do we stop this? The funeral home dude. I didn't answer it. The funeral home dude. The funeral home dude popped up in my mind when she asked that because she engages in the gender war, full-fledged. Been doing it for years. So I said to myself, I'm not answering that.
First, I just want to say right off the back, my name is Tyrone Muhammad. I'm a funeral director here in New Jersey, and I'm going to cut straight to the chase. I ain't going to sugarcoat nothing. I ain't going to give you a watered-down version. I ain't going to tell you something that's just popular. No, I'm going to give it to you real. If you ain't hear from nobody else that's telling you the realness, you ain't hear from nobody else. As a funeral director, you want to talk to those who just loving these brothers, these rappers. In fact, rappers such as Rick Ross, rappers such as Lil Wayne, those out there having you falling in love with that nonsense, having fallen in love with thinking that that's reality when they're talking about violence. But they living other than that. See, they walking around with bodyguards and etc. And they got you out here gang banging, got you out here shooting and killing one another. But listen, all that, the reality of it is when I see you. When I see you, it's over. It's over. Why? You're dead. You're gone. And you're dead because of foolishness, right? And you come in here all shot up, bullet holes everywhere. You've been to the medical examiner. The medical examiner butcher you up, chop you all up, gut you open, take all your heart, your organs, your liver, your kidneys, your intestines. They remove your brain, gut you out. got you out. And now what happens now? You leave off a cold environment there. You come to the funeral home. We put you on the cold embalming table. And while you on that cold embalming table, we put cold embalming fluid in you with cold water. See what I'm saying?